The latest SMALLAND update adds the ability to have a Hornet as your mount, but how do you get it? Of course I'm going to show you how, as well as how to get the Pyrite hatchet and sword and pretty much go through the new Crypt biome. Let's go. So first off we've got to get to the Crypt. It's the brand new area, it's in the southeast corner and it can be quite hard to challenging to do so. You are obviously going to need your wings to get across, or maybe if you really somehow manage to do it, use a catapult. Head to Knock for the recipe for that one. You are going to need some good gear and definitely recommended some sort of iron weapon. Expect to fight a whole ton of flies as well as cockroaches, maybe black stag beetles and maybe hornets. So when you get to the ruins you need to head to the back of them, as that's the entrance down to the crypt, some stairways. If you manage to get, like I have, from the nearest tree using the catapult at the highest setting, you should be able to just jump through and avoiding most of the enemies here in the top part of the crypt. You can then jump onto the altar table here and this will take you down into it, or the stairway is probably the best way to go. The upper part of the crypt that we've kind of bypassed does have the new spiders that you're going to have to kill a ton of to try and get a hold of their abdomens or bug parts, as you're going to need that to make the actual hornet tree. But first off, let's find the NPC, the historian, as that's where we're going to get the recipe. So as soon as you get to the bottom of these stairs you need to head over to the left, unless you can somehow use a climbing hook to get right across the big gap and straight into the NPC area. Once you've killed a few flies you should see a bunch of candles above you, and that's where we need to get to, but as you can see you can't really climb up it. So I find the grappling hooks are pretty not good, and I always find that I'll end up just dropping, or it doesn't actually take me where I want to go. So you need to go around the corner here and you should find a plank next to another set of candles. Basically we're going to follow in the line of the shelves where you will find the coffins and skeletons all the way round until eventually we get to that NPC area. Take it nice and slow, try and lure out any of the flies that you might come across, as you don't really want to be fighting them at the same time as a cockroach. These guys can decimate you even with the best armour if 4 or 5 of them are attacking at once. But considering I've played quite a lot of the game now, I feel pretty confident in taking on most of the bugs. Now if you're thinking already that was a bit dark, Jade, I can't even see where you're going, don't worry, I came back in the daytime and did the route for you again just so you'd be able to see a lot clearer. So back up the plank and actually run down this way again, take out again more creatures. They do respawn incredibly quick in here, like I'm talking minutes, maybe 5 minutes and you'll get the cockroaches respawning, and some of the flies will respawn in pretty soon as well. But just like the rest of the NPCs, following candles normally leads you to the right path. So we're going to keep going up alongside the ledges here. I'm not really going to cut or edit too much. I really want to make sure you're following the right way, because there is a point where you can get a bit confused and may end up going somewhere that you shouldn't be. There's plenty of pyrite along here as well, so if you need some of this, grab it. You do need a ton of this to get the new metal schematics, and I've shown you guys how to do that in a separate video. So go and watch that now if you want metal build pieces. So let's speed the footage up a little bit. Climb up this plank onto the second one and then take care of some more of the flies. Keep going along the ledge here all the way through, and there's a real crucial thing you need to know. If you want the weapons, if you look down there, that's where you're going to find the recipes for the Pyrite axe and the Pyrite greatsword. You can pretty much fly into it from any of the sort of slightly higher ledges. You don't have to go all the way around like I just did. But once you've investigated and you've got the recipes, you will have to go back to where we just started, near the stairs, up the planks and all the way round again. So instead of getting the recipes, head over to this doorway here and keep climbing across. And then up onto this ledge here on the shelves. Follow it all the way round and you can see again we've got more candles to follow. Again, you should come across some more cockroaches and maybe some more flies up this way too. You can only see the body parts as I took care of them earlier, and then climb across the plank and then you should be able to go ahead and drop in here. Now if you're really lucky, there is a chance you might be able to fly directly to him from the actual stairway if you've managed to fly all the way down and you've got a good amount of stamina. But here is the historian. We'll give you the recipe, and it'll obviously give you the recipe for the brand new armor set as well, which quite frankly is kind of trash. It has got the highest protection in the game, but it doesn't have any wings, and it's got the worst durability, I swear, out of any of the armor sets. It looks cool and maybe you can find a use for it, but honestly I was only involved in maybe 1 or 2 fights and I literally brought it all the way down its durability. So unless you want to be carrying repair bench around with you at all times and repairing it after literally getting attacked once, I think this definitely needs to change in the future. And that's pretty much it for the moment. We need to now get out of here and find plenty of them little blood sucking spiders, as we're going to need them to make the treat. But Jade, I didn't kill any boss. Well, unlike the rest of the game where normally you do have to kill a boss to get the treat, no, because the blood sucking spiders are probably more than enough challenge. You'll find them in the upper part of the crypt. There's also a place that I'm going to show you in a minute in the lower part, which might be the best spot to go and get some. It can quickly go a bit turbo. They do phenomenal amounts of damage as well as poison, and if you get attacked by any of the hornets at the same time, then panic might set in. As I said, they keep spawning. I haven't found a way, or if there is some sort of mechanic to stop them from spawning. You can see they're not the hardest to kill as long as you've got a decent iron weapon and some obviously good armour. And maybe I've missed out on something, but there's plenty of these spawn points all around the crypt, and yeah, they just instantly spawn more or less after only a few seconds. You might also be noticing I'm not getting many drops from them. It seems like it's got a random chance of getting the abdomen that you need from some of these guys. So I killed a whole ton of them before eventually getting 3 of the abdomens to make the treat. You also need 1 petal and 2 seed oil to go ahead and make it in the oven. And just like the rest of the pets, you got to pick and choose where you get your pet. You don't want to be swarmed by the same creatures or any other creatures after you just got it, as it's going to be pretty low on health. So I went and singled out one right by the ruins over by the mantelpiece here. And there you go, he is tamed. The usual blah blah, drop it some food or especially any of the cooked food that you've made and he'll heal up pretty quickly. And now it's time for the sad truth. Just like the rest of the pets, the hornets are kind of weak sauce. It is a design mechanic of SMALLAND at the moment that lots of the pets are meant to be easy to get once you unlock them with certain resources, and obviously they're easy to die. That's the compromise. I would still say it's time consuming and it just becomes a bit unfun using tames because they can die so quickly and easily. The hornet does have some perks and bonuses. It can seemingly fly a lot better or higher or further than the damselfly. It does seem to have a bit more of a stamina pool and it does seem to go a little bit quicker, especially vertically. So you'll be able to use it to climb up to all them secret spots to get the brand new tattoo markings that you can find dotted around the map. And of course you can attack other creatures with your stinger, but again they're really just weak. Even against only a few flyers, I nearly lost my hornet. I think something's got to be done. Whether or not we can create new recipes that can increase their health, maybe give them even armour, maybe defeat bosses 5 times in a row to get a super special recipe that can do something like give them more health. But right now, just like I've said in my review and previous videos with Taming, a lot of them just aren't worth it because they die so easily. Once you get wings, you're pretty much good to go. But there you go, that is how you go ahead and get a hornet mount in SMALLAND. You found that useful? Go and check out the rest of my SMALLAND guides. I've pretty much covered every facet of it, and like I said in previous videos as well, go and check out my 100 days channel to see 100 days of SMALLAND and how I beat the whole game. Until next time, rat bags, laters.